Hey guys, Scott from Realistic Outdoors. Just picked up a new sleep set system for some backpacking trips this coming fall. I wanted to lighten the load because I'm going to be packing in some video equipment, so I had to kind of become a gram granny, as they say, and loosen some weight. So what I have here, we'll start with the bag. I have a 400 down Paclite goose down pack. I cannot remember exactly the weight, but I will get it for you. For the air mattress, I have the what is it, the Apollo Light. It's like 17 ounces. It's a 5.2 R value. Thing is light, small, and because this is only rated for 0, I bought a HotCore liner because I just feel like it's better to have a liner inside my feather sleeping bag, my down sleeping bag anyway. That way I can just wash this regularly and then just take care of that every once in a while, maybe once a season. So this should add me about a -5. I'm hoping that I'll be able to do a -5 overnight. I'm going to put the thermometer in the tent so I can keep track of the temperature tonight. I'm going to set this up. I'm excited to try this because I've never tried a pump sack. It comes with a pump sack. So you could even lighten this up if you remove the bag and the pump sack, but I think for as much weight, these 3 items here already dropped 6 pounds from my original pack set because I'm not usually packing all that camera gear, but we're going in so far and I really want to do a really good job of bringing in the drone and getting some incredible aerial shots. We're going to see so many waterfalls. Apparently there's like 12 in the park. So I'm really stoked to see that. But as you can see behind me, it's clearly still winter. I have a lot of snow still, probably 5 feet in my backyard. So I've set up my Eskimo tent as a fair value because I will be in a tent and I'm on a wood deck with nothing below me. Apparently a lot of the sleeping pads that are built in the park are raised and wood. So we should be kind of an equal. I've been told that, and I looked online, some temperatures in the fall, in mid-September, even though they're 20 degrees in the daytime, can fall below -6. So I want to be prepared. I know people are probably thinking I'm crazy for just sleeping on my deck and trying this stuff out, but I want to know now before it's too late. So if I have to change my bag, this is when I want to do it. All right, stay tuned. I'll give you some details and how the night goes. This is my first time using a pump sack, and I gotta say it was quite less breathtaking, so to speak. So I'm not out of breath and winded and lightheaded. And there is something to be said about actually not blowing moisture into your bag, because it will cause damage inside and will also conduct cold. And I've been told that it's really bad for bacteria and stuff, so it can build up in there and become kind of a nasty place to blow air into. Okay, it's kind of getting dark out. It's not too bad, but right now it's 1 degree and 7 degrees inside this tent. So I have this thermal HotCore liner, which is a zip liner, and then I have my down bag. It's a little heavier than the taffeta. This is a thicker material, quite a bit thicker. It is a water resistant. Water will pool on here, but after 10 or 15 minutes it'll leak through. I'll try and do a little bit better of a review of the bags and the sleep system after I've actually had a chance to try them out, and I'll give you some loft measurements and etc. This is my setup for tonight, and we'll give it a go. I'm excited. Oh wait, I forgot my pillow. Okay, it's my 6 out. It's 10 after 11. It's 0 degrees inside the tent. I'm gonna try and keep this as realistic as possible. When I take this off, I have just my thermal shirt, my thermal pants. That's what I'll be getting into bed with. It's, like I said, it's -6. There's frost on the tent. I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not. it's pretty cold. It's probably too cold to be testing this, but anyway, we'll see how long I last and see how comfortable it is. All right, wish me luck. I haven't done that in a long time. It's kind of cold in here. Well, I survived, but I think I did more than survive. I thrived. This bag with this HotCore liner, which I ended up shoving down most of the time, we reached temperatures of -9 last night, and but it averaged -7, and I was super warm. Like, I was not survivable temperature. I was super comfortable temperature. My feet did get a little bit chilly. This bag does not have a foot box. So, and I didn't have the proper wool socks, my camping socks. So, and in the middle of the night, I did let a tiny bit of air out of this pad. It was way too firm. But this pad kept the cold out. What else can I say? I had plenty of room to move around in this bag, even with this hot liner in here. This hot liner is a rectangle as well. And anyway, I'll do a little more review on that. One thing I didn't like, which I'll talk more about, I was excited about this sewn-in pocket. I was like, yes, I can get my iPhone in here. I don't know what kind of phone you're going to get in there. It's probably big enough for like maybe an old flip razor. You can get your ID in there. I don't even know if you'd get a whole wallet in there. Like, it's tiny, so that's kind of a bummer on the pocket, because I was really looking forward to keeping the iPhone warm. So I ended up just sticking it down in my sleeping bag. I rolled over it on a couple times because I was like, why am I so uncomfortable? So if I wake up and I have some iPhone prints here and there, that's why. Otherwise, this pillow I made was perfect, super ultra light. And when it got really cold and I cinched this bag up around my head, I had enough where the pillow would push up and plug the last little bit of a hole and then put my head on it. So yeah, all in all, I'm super excited about this. I was really concerned that, like, I've never had such an ultralight bag in my life, like 1.2 pounds. I just didn't think it was going to do the job. So anyway, I wanted to make sure I did that before I went out on the trail, get up in the mountains. Oh my goodness, I got a bit of a sore neck. Yeah, I don't sleep like this enough on the ground. I've been, you know, I have a bed. So I don't sleep on the ground. Even my little camper has a nice mattress in it. So anyway, yeah, I'm super happy with the way this went. It's warming up now nicely, so it's warm enough in here for me to get out. All I had on was my super slick, I don't even know what they call this, but it's a breathable, shiny, almost a taffeta shirt, and I have the exact same pants on, so you can move around and slide around because it's super shiny or slippery. And the toque, I wore the toque and it came off a few times, but I was inside this, so it didn't really matter. The only thing that really got cold when I laid on my stomach, my hands reached out, and it was like putting my hands in -7. So maybe I need a pair of gloves, or I don't know, something over my hands. I can't sleep on my back like a mummy. I don't know how people do it. Congrats to you who can, because boy, you saved yourself a lot of trouble sleeping. But anyway, I'm gonna get into some review, and I'll talk about some of the finer points and some of the things I liked and some of the things I didn't like. Thanks for hanging out. Okay, the website promotes when it's inflated, it goes as large as 72 inches full length. I could only get 71 inflated, and 23 inches at the widest, and 3.2. I've got 3 inches inflated, so they fell short 0.2, and they fell short 1 inch in length. And it looks to me like they fell short on the width, because at the widest point it says 22, I got 21 inches. And then again at the narrowest they said it was 19, and I got a whopping 16 or 17 inches. Rolling this bad boy up was very easy. Just pop the release valve, 90% of the air came out. You roll it down whole to let all the air out, and then you fold it back on the creases that were there from packaging, and then you just roll it back up. Super simple, fit right back in the bag, easy peasy. I will say that I did very much enjoy my sleep on this mattress. I had it set a little firm to start, then I let a little bit of air out, and it was very, very comfortable. It kept me very warm, and again, I was out there at -9. I was under the impression this was going to have a very noisy chip bag sound, and I did not notice that whatsoever. Once my bag and stuff was on top of it, it made a little bit of noise, but not enough to make anybody crazy. Overall, I give this a 9.5 out of 10. Not a big deal, but I would note that I also did not get the adjustment needle, but I can pretty much use anything. When I weighed this up, it's supposed to be 17 ounces, but in the pack without the stuff sack, I had 26.6 ounces. That's 1.35 pounds. So it was a little heavier than it said. That said, I noticed that when I removed the stuff sack and the blow up sack and just weighed the mattress itself, it weighed 1.06 pounds, which comes to 16.96 ounces. So they were very accurate on the weight if they're just going by just the air mattress alone. So that's probably what's happened. I would like to point at this point too that I'm not sponsored by any of these companies, and I have purchased all this on my own, so this will be an unbiased opinion. First of all, it said on the website 33 inches wide, which is exactly accurate. However, one thing that I did notice on the full length was it showed 78 inches, but the actual usable space is about 67 inches. And sure, it's 78 inches all the way to the top of the headrest, but maybe 78.5. So really it's 33 by 67 inches of useful space. It zippers on both ends, which I found very nice. It was very comfortable, and I did find that it increased the heat of my sleeping bag a lot. And it was easy to roll up. You didn't have to try and compress it, and it fit right back into the sack that was provided. Very nice. I give this a 10 out of 10. HotCore is a Canadian owned and operated company 100%, and they are available online, and they do have a very large assortment of sleeping bags as well. And it weighed in at 502 grams and 1.17 pounds. The weight of the HotCore was accurate to 7.2 ounces, and it came to 18.72 ounces with the stuff sack. Okay, and now for my Rockwater Paclite down sleeping bag. I actually am going to say right off the bat, I really love this bag. There's not a lot on the website, but I did find that the Paclite 400 does have a comfort range of 0 degrees or 32 degrees Fahrenheit, and its fill power is 400 grams. The fill weight is 0.9 pounds, and it comes in the steel blue, which is kind of a cool color, tan on the inside. It has a thicker polyester, which you give up a little bit of weight for, but also becomes down puncture proof, so you don't get a lot of the down poking through. And yet I have not seen any since I started using it. There are some pros and cons. I do like the Velcro zipper stop at the top, and the zipper does work quite lovely. There is a zipper snag proof piece of webbing on the inside. Notice there's no draft protection. The only real draft protection was this actual webbing, which actually worked quite fine. I mean, it was -9 and I wasn't getting any draft. The pocket is kind of useless. It's too small to put a phone unless you're using a little tiny flip razor phone of some sort. It has a drawstring at the top, which was really nice when it got cold. I was able to pull it tight. The loft is showing at about 2 3/4 inches, maybe 2.5 inches. And its length is accurate to the website, which is 77.5 inches long, and it is 32 inches wide. And I found that to be a lot of room. I'm 5'10", 220 pounds, and I had no problem moving around in this, even with the HotCore liner. The stitching looked marvelous everywhere I checked. There was no bad stitching. Now, it did say that it was kind of slightly waterproof because of the polyester, but I did a water test, and you can see here it did leak in right away, so I had to wipe it up. So you probably want to use some polyester protector.
the stuff sack provided, which was also a compression sack, which was kind of unique. I had never seen this before. It doesn't actually have a lid. It was quite simple to stuff in, just ramming it in. And once it was in, it has just a little flap here, and then the compression sack is part of the actual bag itself. So it's kind of a compression sack and storage sack. This quilt can be opened up fully to be used as a quilt. The only two downsides that I have for this is at the bottom zipper there's a large hole where there could have been some sort of a draft protection, and there's only one hanging strap at that same corner, and I'm not sure if they have something to do with each other, but there's no way to actually hang the bag. So it weighs in at 1.03 kilograms or 2.44 pounds, or I think it comes to 39 ounces. Now the pillow I made, 120 grams, 4.2 ounces. That's amazing. I just used a piece of foam that is egg crate that you use for soundproofing, and it rolls up quite tight, same size as a water bottle. So here we're looking at my whole sleep system now, and you can tell there's a pretty tiny space footprint that it takes up, and the entire bunch weighs 4.15 pounds or 2.2 kilos, and that's about 5 pounds lighter than my last sleep section and a whole bunch less. So when I'm storing my sleeping bag now, I shove it in a bigger mil-spec waterproof bag, and that way I can keep it from losing its loft as much. Okay, for my final thoughts, that HotCore polyester thermal fleece was wicked, was warm. It says it'll add up to 10 degrees Celsius. I only actually added an extra 5. The rectangle was large. The draw cord at the shoulder was nice. I loved the stuff sack. It was quite solid, and I give this one a 10 out of 10. The Apollo Airlight air mattress was incredible. It was quite comfortable. I found it to be quiet. The measurements were a little bit off, and I did kind of fall off it a couple times when I rolled over. I had it out at -9, and it was fantastic. It was very, very light, and it's easy to put in the stuff sack, and it pumps up real nice. And I give that a 9.5 out of 10. The Rockwater sleeping bag Paclite Down 400. It is a fabulous bag. It does have a harder outer shell, which I found was amazing. You don't get feathers poking through. I'm 5'10", 218 pounds, and I had a load of room. Stronger in exterior and interior, and it has a really nice zipper. The only downfall was the actual hole at the end to allow the air to come in, and the one single hang strap. Other than that, I give it an 8 out of 10. Fabulous bag. Everybody, thanks for hanging out, and I hope you enjoyed some of this. And if you do, and you've learned something, and you found this at all entertaining, please give a second to subscribe. Thanks very much. I'm Scott from Realistic Outdoors.